So stacking?
Yeah, stacking. So go ahead and ease off again. That way he just knows. You remember what to do if they stack you? Alright. So you're going to keep the arm that you're already armbarring, but your goal is to rotate underneath them. And what that'll do is
like to belly down?
Not belly down, more like you're going to twist the armbar and put the pressure on the head. So Jacob has programmed this in his head was, I'll take the knee that's behind his head and I'll flare my foot out to push his head down, and you'll flip him forward. So as Jacob starts smashing your knees in, go underneath him more, and put the pressure on his head. Now the whole premise of this is to basically keep, because that was the #1 armbar defense for a lot of years. Like I taught that for a lot of years, especially for MMA. So the conversation then went to taperia and like being able to do shit while someone's actually hitting you, which that's an art too. But more than anything, that rotation that you did, that's one of the major things you want to have programmed in your head to start before like a lot of your spider and your lasso really comes in. So go ahead and just hit that a few times on Jacob. And then Jacob, hit it back on him a little bit. Then if you feel up to it, you can jump in and pull out anywhere you want, Michael. That way, like you feel like you got this. There you go. So you especially can rotate a little bit more. Jacob, you asked earlier about reaching across the waist and pushing off the hip. That's perfectly fine. The whole goal is just to take that direct pressure and twist it out so they can't be.
Well, I saw a video once of so they start to stack you on this far leg. You reach for that far leg and you use that to help you rotate out.
So my caveat is I don't reach for legs, mostly because they move, like they might be dancing. What usually happens, they get up on their tippy toes and we're all in smash. So reach for the hip. So here's what I mean. So JJ, you're on top, you're gonna smash in. Because it's not like this is not a good answer. A lot of MMA schools prefer this answer for stopping arm bars. Well, basically you're taking his knees to his face. So if you reach up across the waist. Yeah, so JJ sprawl on him. There you go. Push and now twist. You're there. There you go.
I would have to go into a belly down.
Well, when he sprawled, you did what I told you, so I'm not mad at you. Most people would go top heavy with it, and that's what goes through. When you sprawled, you brought your weight back, and then that kind of fucked up that move. So what you did was a good answer for you.
So if all the weight
listening, good. So I do it, but put all your weight on him this time.
So if all the weight was towards his torso, then
So this time he's gonna swallow, put all the weight on you.
Okay.
Because this, the whole point of this is he's putting all the weight on you. So boom, yep, smash him. See, now you can rotate him and send him anywhere you want. And then if you popped in the last second, you can flip him over.
Mm-hmm.
So you see what I'm getting at with all that?
Yeah.
Same thing, Junior. Just back and forth. Now, in the first place, the big deal is getting compressed, which that's always a shitty thing. Well, for you, not so much. So reach through his waist and just pull yourself underneath and put the pressure on his head. So you could roll out because you can. Think like you're flipping him forward. Just fucking goes right out of it. It's nothing. So put the pressure on the back of his head and take him to the side. There you go. So here's what I'm getting at. That same motion of rotating and taking him sideways, that's your spider guard too. So that's why I wanted to start here. This is how we tie things together. Okay, show me spider guard. Start from guard. Let's see how you get there. Boom, feet to the hips, good. Feet to the bicep, good. And now to a double spider, cool. Now, a couple easy things. When you're stepping on a spider, the goal is to step directly on the bicep, and you want to be able to roll the bicep. So your foot can go here, gas pedal, stop, gas pedal, stop, and roll his bicep. That's what's going to help you elevate, heel, elevates, toes, drop. There you go. And that's how you're going to steer it. Now your major points are bicep, break to the shoulder, chest. So kind of play around with each of those and just move it around. Yep, shoulder, in, out. There you go. And that's kind of how you're going to work through it. Good. Now, on top of your spider, you also have your lasso. So if you go over and under, once you go over and under, flex your toes up, keep that deep in the armpit, and now turn your palm up for the control of his wrist. Now the reason you have to go palm up on the control of the wrist is if you go back palm down, he can circle around your thigh. If he gets that grip, it's gonna fuck up your spider or your lasso. But if you keep your palm up, you can't rotate his hands there. So that's a very important point to make sure that you keep the big guys staying right there in that position. I know. It's a grocery bag thing. You always want to get used to just holding like here. Remember when I talked about groceries? Yep, carry them all at once. Alright, so now you have kind of two thoughts on this. Your lasso and your spider are used the same way. If you lift your lasso, you can offset his shoulders. But you have to pull the opposite direction if you're lifting your lasso. So lift your lasso and pull in on this side. There you go. Think more like you're trying to turn his shoulders. So tilt him towards me. There you go. So look at his face. Don't worry about him wincing. Think of his face as a big cup.
Okay.
That cup, so his head's a cup. You're always spilling the water. So now if you switch to the other hip and put all the weight on the lasso, there you go. Spill the cup of water. This is what makes it a sweep. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, the more they pressure, the more you open your hips because you're accepting. But by opening your hips, you're accepting to take the pressure on your feet. Because that's where you want to take it, not on your chest, not on your hips, on your feet. So that's where your own management comes in. Now, we got Caleb here. So I'm going to throw him in the mix here in a second because you're going to be working against a big body. And that's where we're also going to add in the shoulder locking. Because the shoulder locking is also what's going to help you maintain distance. In the room, when there's a ton of people, you always got to remember to be aware of your background so you don't run into somebody. But if you're in a tournament or something like that, sometimes the shoulder locking can help you. You can just walk off the mat and reset if you don't like what's going on or something like that. You know, those little tricks that you can kind of get away with. So go ahead and set it back up. So one side spider, one side lasso. There you go. Keeping a lasso. Good. So you're kind of staying flat, which you're flexible enough to do, but against the big guys, that'll never work. Yep, turn your hips. You have to turn your hips. Now spread them wide. There you go. See what happened with Jacob as soon as you spread? Now palms up. There you are. So now Jacob starts trying to pressure you forward. Block your shoulders and maintain the distance. There you go. Yes. Now, you see he's got his weight down on the shoulder. Which side should go down?
The right side.
All right, put it down. There you go. He adjusts. Now you adjust. Beautiful. So, like I said, these type of things between spider and lasso, they're meant to kind of offset big, strong guys. So he's pressuring in, you're moving away. But you notice when he moved away, he stretched out. He's going to have to really keep his hips in. Now, the guys you got to worry about, the smart ones, they're going to try to pull away because they know not to push in. It's right there with butterfly guard and a few guards. The more guys push into the guard, guys especially used to wrestle, will not push into these guards. And that's what gets them in trouble. Now, you can bait guys into kind of pushing on you by stretching yourself away, but just using yourself. You push off on your shoulders and kind of get them to come to you a little bit. There's also little bullshit games you can play where if you have one lasso or one spider, usually it's the spider side because that's a little bit more mobile. You can take your foot to the shoulder and you need to be a dick and put your foot right up under his throat and choke him a little bit.
So what's your move if they back away? Because that's always my mentality.
Go with them. Because as they pull back, you can scoot yourself back underneath. And this is where that shoulder locking becomes super important. You can lock yourself both in and down.
Okay.
Because all these guards are 100% they're space management. And they're meant to be space management so that the little guy doesn't get smashed with the big guy. So that's why you'll see, so if I took you to Masters World right now and threw you in the Las Vegas Open, you'd be in there against the big guys and then we throw you in the absolute Tyrese comes in. You know, you most likely will end up under him. However, you don't want to stay under there because that's going to fuck your world. Now, there doesn't mean you see guys kill big guys with cards all the time. I mean, Luke was my fucking kryptonite for a lot of years because he was just squirrely and he just give me a fall into stuff. And especially when I was still more wrestling, I'd fall into chokes, fall into shit. I said, the only reason I'm better than him now is because I just kept training and he took all that time off. Who knows if the roles were different. So, back in. Set up just spider, no lasso. Step on the bicep, step on the bicep.
Because as soon as we get here, my first reaction is to back away, because that's what Russell has told me.
Yep, that's a good answer. But as you back away, you see how your chest just dips?
Yeah.
And he can walk himself with you. Now you're going, palms up a bit. There you go. Oh, you lips, no lips, scratch his face. So, think of it as a judo term. Big wheel, big wheel. Start fucking with his balance. Spread your knees, spread your legs. There you go. Yes.
So this turning the wheel stuff applies to everything
Across the board.
across the board.
Across the board. And how does that feel?
Good, I'm just confused on what you mean by like turning.
So when you were turning to your hip and your shoulder, you saw how his shoulders went like this. You want to think of it like so his head's the middle circle, his shoulders an outer circle, his wrists are a big part of the circle. So if you think of this might not work. You and me, old trucks. They just had like those multiple circle steering wheels. And you had the center base, which was the console, and then they had a little metal trim in there, and then they had the big steering wheel. And we had big steering wheels because we didn't have power
No
steering.
power steering. Leverage.
Yes. So you want to think like by having the big steering wheel. This is why like buses have big steering wheels. They don't really anymore. Once upon a time they had really big steering wheels because you're steering a fucking bus.
Yeah.
So the idea is that you're steering a bus with your spine. So you could also be steering the bus with your lasso. The lasso just allows you some opportunities to work through. So you're talking shit about the omoplata. So let's turn your lasso into an omoplata.
Oh yeah, I think.
I've already taught you this. But now that we're focusing purely on this guard, now we can kind of get in depth with it. So set up your spider, go from your spider to your lasso. And you don't want to think like that. Spiders kind of stop on the way to lasso. There you go. Yep, use those hips. Excellent. Alright, so you're here. Do you remember how to work into your omoplata?
I do.
Alright, show me. Set. Switch your hands. Finish accordingly. Nice and slow. He's got stiff shoulders. Alright. Good. Nice and slow. So you remember that one. Remember, what did I tell you when I taught you that one?
I do not remember that one. Jesus, change.
Big guys are coming for you. So Jacob, put your chest weight on him as he comes in. You gotta keep your legs extended. If you allow him to smash you like that, it's always gonna hurt. So there you go. That's how you keep his weight off. Now activate on the other side and start working your arm. Good on your knee. Yes. That's okay. What would you come back around for?
Probably a triangle right here.
Good. Don't be afraid. Grab his collar and yank him down. You're already there. Fucking wrong.
Yeah, I'm glad you're not. I'm not in that mix. Thank you.
Alright. So now if your lasso, a lot of this we've already talked about. You turn through, omoplata, triangle. So work through the reps a few times. And then Jacob, if you're feeling froggy, you want to try. This is all within your wheelhouse. Above the sound effects, keep him from smashing you. Yep, keep him stretched. Good, come through.
Whoa.
Oh, sexy. Yep, right.
So how did you and Luke meet then?
Luke, when I was a blue belt, was the first time I saw Luke. And he and Praise a lot were coming down around the mountains to do private lessons with Charles. So I mostly just saw him in passing. And then he moved here with my first instructor. And then he had already gotten, the reality is private lessons that you're out because you're just getting focused on. So by the time he came in, he was already functional. And then at that point, a lot of my answers consisted of just putting more weight on people. So he learned stuff like this that when I put my weight on him, I would basically just give him everything he needed to do. So that's where a lot of this stuff gets kind of fun. You can kind of manipulate the weight of the person on you.
Being able to do those movements in that much space is pretty cool.
Yes. So So here in a second, I'm going to teach you a pretty sick sweep off this. It's the TONG sweep.
Ooh, I like the
TONG
sound of that.
sweep.
TONG sweep.
Yeah, you position your feet like tongs. Yeah, not that guy's tongue. Maybe tongue. Let's see yours, Jacob.
So like a TP choke.
TP choke is there, but we haven't touched on that yet. And I usually don't throw a TP choke unless he's known for like a double underpass. There you go, spread them out. Good. Great the lasso. Beautiful. Then from here, you keep your toe flexed. Turn your palms up to your thighs. Then you're going to pass your foot between the hole there.
Like this?
Yep, help your hand pass through. Yep, by your waist. Omoplata, bite down. Turn it to the same omoplata you've done earlier today.
Good job, dude.
Beautiful. Excellent. So then we'll put in the next scenario. Everything happens again. This time he rears up. You have the potential to go back to triangle. Or you can back roll out of the omoplata, which is always a fun game to play. You know that?
No.
We'll talk about it as you get there. Caleb's in his own wrestling mind, he's not paying attention. He's got his goal like that right now. Good, so reach across the waist.
Are both of them turned palm up?
Yes. Because the palm up is just a good strong position for your body.
See, I never use spider dart because it always fucking hurts my fingertips.
That just
Queen size.
yeah, I don't know, you can switch to a pistol grip. You understand, the pistol? So you stick your thumbs in it and then pull it up across your bone. So you can play with that grip makes you feel better. Those would be the two recommended, because either way you need a grip that won't allow him to circle his hands. Because that's going to be his number one way out of this, is his circle his hands stance on your thighs. As long as you're in here, on arm versus a leg wins. That's why a lot of guys like playing this type of position. Yes.
So if you can keep your grips, you can keep your power.
So you're here, pull your foot back, go through the hole. This time when you come through, he stays up tall, even grabs inside his waist. So you're gonna back roll over your right shoulder and knock him down. Sit on him. Sit on him. There you go. I said sit on him.
It's not very nice.
Yeah, this happens. But with you sitting on him, now you have the space to spin. Yes. That's why you sit on him. You sit to the mat, you have no mobility. So when you back roll, you try to actually sit on his chest. That way your legs don't get trapped. That way you don't get stuck in position.
Okay.
Then you can spin. Or this is where Luke would be like, I wouldn't do that. I would open my legs and I would go for a mounted triangle.
Like, you make him sound like a South Park character.
If you ever listen to him, he does say triangle.
Diversity.
One of the downsides of living here is I can hear people by their speech patterns sometimes. It's like everybody's in the gym.
You've been here a long
I don't necessarily need the camera sometimes.
tone and inflection.
Did you give Luke his black belt?
Technically he got it from me, yes.
I forgot what I was doing. I halfway through that, to be honest.
Well, we were practicing the back roll to sit on. Because that's why he was pulling back so hard. So we needed back roll. It's okay. There's only so much room left after you go to school. Let's see, right? There you go, back roll up. Now sit on his chest. This is what I meant. You can spin to an arm bar, or you can step back and go into a triangle. There you go. Go to your knees, settle. Yeah. And pull that back. Go both knees. And then take your right hand and reach behind his thigh and twist. Well, you can twist him too, but I usually just put all my weight on my thigh. Sit on his chest with your thigh. There you go. Still not tapping? Another comment is asked.
I'm too strong.
Well, that's where you get into that thing. Is guys will sit there and be so insistent on the triangle, and it's like his arm is defenseless.
So what I felt was he was like pulling me up like right here with the chest, with like the pressure right here. I could still breathe though. I didn't feel anything on my neck.
Okay, so next time you step back, where you get that leg against his neck before you set it. So that's all that was. Is communication. All right, a few more times with that one.
Are we always rotating under the, lasso guard leg?
Yeah, because the lasso guard is what gives you the rotation.
Because it's pointed the right way to spin
Yeah,
around?
so this is where, like, if you want to practice it on the downside, you're gonna have to set the lasso before you can roll.
Gotcha.
So it's the spider guard. All spider guard sweeps are just steer back. Steer them up here, steer them up here. And that's where that gets kind of
That's so where I can practice some movement.
Yes. Like I said, lasso's a pretty fun game to play. You just have to understand all the basics of understanding, like, where you can bail out if he smashes you or things like that. Because the first couple times you play this with some of these positions,
Oh, you go backwards too.
so right here when you go to set up, really make sure that knee is right up against his neck. There you go. Now start twisting you. And here's another little thing you can do. Instead of reaching back, take your left hand and push his elbow across his throat.
I can still breathe.
Oh man.
Yeah, this fucking was just.
Yeah, we're sloppy guys. We might be in a situation where your legs are too long for a monkey triangle.
I've forgotten that.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not a bad thing for you to go for because the arm's there, so it's bar. Twist it left, it's in your car, twist it right, it's in your corner.
And I feel like I just have like a really good grip for when I switch to the mounted arm.
Just gotta watch out you don't end up in the Wago pencil. So now you're wrapped up here, you have some legs.
Oh, yeah.
And then that gets awkward. That's one of the reasons why I always tell people reach back and wrap the car because it twists them. So they can't really do anything outside of just start kicking. And you keep your weight on your chest, a lot of times people just quit because they're like, so it's not necessarily a shock, it's what it wants, sometimes it's just a fact, just pressure real hard. Does that make sense? The triangle. When you spin through, that's more or less just when I say that he's giving that to you and you're taking it. If you go through, reach up and grab his collar and then you can down. That's why those little things that you can do that will help you as you come out of that spin. So as you spin underneath with the lasso, you come up, take your free hand and just reach up in his collar like you're gonna collar choke him. Now, fun fact about this, after you get all this cool shit, if you shot a collar choke right away, you'd be surprised at how many guys you can catch with that. Because you think about when he's fighting his arms, he's working through all this other shit.
He's not even thinking about this.
Yeah, so when you shoot through here, right about there, you know, he's fighting. So right now, your right hand goes right into his collar as you come up. Yep, pull him right into your triangle. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's one of those little details. I'd always reach kind of near side. You want to think like in the fourth dimension. Think where you're going to end up. So when you reach up, you want your hand in his right collar. So you're going to reach up kind of up behind your head and twist your hand, and then grab, and then really yank that down. So one of these straight tempo moves. Yank them right down to your crotch, yes. Because you think about where you're at your strongest. So you are reaching up like this to kind of grab, but as you correct yourself, your hand will turn into the strong position. So this is kind of what I mean, like you're thinking in that fourth dimension. You're not thinking about where you're at, you're thinking about where you're gonna be. Dad's thinking you shooting. Have you ever hunted? Okay, so if you're shooting something alive, you don't shoot it where it's at. If it's moving, you shoot it where it's gonna be. You gotta leave the target. So this is the jiu-jitsu equivalent of leaving the target.
Holy cow.
Does that make sense? Alright, show me your. Well, this is why I like some of this fantastical jiu-jitsu. It's not that it's not outside reach, it just takes a while to program. Because not only are you hitting all these cool movements, right there. So near side collar, you got it, now you yank him down again. Other collar. Other collar. That's the one I want you to grab. Because look at how when you put your triangle, if that's already in on his neck, you can choke the guy just with that. Yeah. Call your shoulders away. There it is. So, again, grab the other card. There it is. So when you throw your leg out there, just yank it right down. Look at how deep that is already. Nice. Alright. Dick move moment. When you're throwing your triangle up, you don't have to work so hard. Once you kind of lock your ankles together, go to that point and just push it on his throat.
This is actually something I was working with Bobby on when I went.
It's frowned upon mostly because not technical, but it gets the job done. There'll be times where it's like, I'm just gonna push on the throat. But especially in a situation like this or the triangle, if you're not getting the triangle too well, or they're just too big, or they're just fighting there. Because now we're talking about like this is stuff that works really well. Not doing this on the screen. Don't try to fucking stick on the Please, for the love of God.
That'd be not a very fun road burn.
So this is where like you revert back to that Gracie curriculum stuff, because that is what that's meant for. It's meant as a self-defense thing. Now it's not that it's good or bad. This is why like I'll say yeah, that's a way and stuff like that, but it's also a question what you're trying to accomplish. You're trying to do tournaments and stuff, not super optimal. So this is where you get into this right here is tournament jiu-jitsu. Or if you practice in jiu-jitsu. You can get this in medicine, fucking look like a badass. Unfortunately, you won't get any pussy for it.
Womp womp.
Alright, Jacob, let's see if you can get it. Let's see how good
We're doing this,
Jacob
right?
is. Yeah, you're just gonna think ahead. You're gonna do everything you've been doing. You're setting up your spider, then setting up your lasso. Boom, boom. So now you're gonna hit your lasso, go through. Boom, hit the hip, right about here. So you're at switch hands, good, yes.
Very good.
Now, yes.
Wow.
So right here's what I'm talking about. You got them pulled down with your hand. Now set your triangle. And sit up and kiss them on the forehead. And out there. Yeah, good. Re-angle. Jacob.
That was really
Excellent details.
beautiful.
Excellent. I'll give you a star. Alright, now do it again. And for shits and giggles, punch him in his throat. Didn't he actually punch him in his throat? Come on. I always have to worry about what I say to the white belts.
Well, the other thing is the like lasso just seems so complicated for my simple mind.
There's a lot of stuff where, like in the beginning, but now that you've done it more, is it really that complicated?
I don't know. We don't really focus on lasso here, so like I haven't like really practiced with it at all, even in drawing.
Yep. So here, yep, grab. Foot to the hip to adjust. That works too.
So why do you prefer foot to the hip?
And keep it bent. So if you think about a man
Like
posture,
it just
so
goes faster
let's-
to get
On the mat.
let's go into the triangle halfway. So just come up to where your legs over his neck. Alright, so we're here. You're about to be in the triangle.
Yes.
If you put your foot to the mat, so put the foot to the mat and start biting down. And Jacob posture like a motherfucker. Get in there even worse. Put yourself almost all the way in there. Put your foot on the mat and create the angle. Really try to choke him. Get him, JJ. Get him, posture, Jacob. Okay. JJ, put your foot on his hip. Now start trying to triangle. Jacob, posture. Posture, Jacob. Push on his hip, bend his wrist. You see how hard you have to work with that foot on there? Now here's the deal. You were hitting it faster than he was getting it. So it's not a bad thing for you to do. This is where you get in later in life and I'll be like, hey, why are you doing that? Well, that's helping me get my hip out faster because Okay. Cool. For most of them, I'd always say put your foot on it because I'm trying to keep you bent. It's the same thing when we were working the speed series this morning. Well, if I just put my foot to your hip right away, Mark was breaking down Julius. Julius has about 40 pounds on it. But if Mark puts his foot to the hip, he can stretch it and bend it. So that's the premise.
What if you run into someone like an Eddie? Because like I could not bend Eddie.
Well, this is where like Eddie's already like a couple chapters farther in the book. So he's literally just throwing all the things that I've done to him. Because I've treated Eddie that way a few times. Just because shit messed up. So, one, drilling with Eddie's always going to be
Yeah.
So, I would encourage you with him to focus on timing and placement. You know, don't hit it hard or strong. Try to see if you can finesse it, trick it into it.
It's like it's very difficult to roll with Eddie because like he's so strong and like when he tenses up,
It's tough, I know.
it doesn't feel like I can really do anything. Other
But
than
if you get
defend.
it on him.
I'd like to try that.
So you want to get to your hip to get your lasso good. Other hip. Now your leg is flexible.
There we go.
There you go. The other thing is your hand should be inside your hip. Start hunting.
I'm talking about
So go around his arm the other way. Lean around backwards on the left arm.
So what do I do here?
No, pull your left leg out again.
Okay.
There you go. Go under. Now up. There you are.
Oh, I got you, Professor.
Now foot through. Now rotation. Well, you switched your hands, so now it's gonna be weird. There you go. You covered it. There you go. You got his collar. Are you? He was mixing two moves together. He reached through to grab the collar, but he was going with his hip motions for home block.
Yes, didn't work out. Should stretch now. No, you're good. Just don't reach that hand when you do the same thing.
Oh, don't reach the hand?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that hand's for the triangle.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
Other way.
Other way, okay, great.
There you go.
That's easier. Let me do that again.
Good. Good. Nice and easy now. There you go.
I'm gonna work on that a while.
It's a strong move. It's just a question of timing. So now we'll simplify whenever Joe comes back.
He always comes out with wet hands.
Oh, he's been there watching you. Or he's just being on it now.
Yeah, no, I can't shake my hands away.
So hypothetically, does shake the baby work with triangles as well?
If you could shake your legs that quickly. I mean, I've only ever seen women's legs shake like that.
The one-legged hooker or another girl? I don't believe you.
I don't believe you. Only believe half of what you hear and nothing that you see. So try not to be flat on your back either. When you lasso, there you go. Under, around, yes. Foot through the hole, hand through the hip, kick up to the sky, and yes. There you go. Think more finesse, you're in a hurry.
I just.
Yes. Yeah, because you already got the position.
That's the art part, right, Professor?
Well, the fun thing about this is like I hit this a lot for years, mostly because guys are going to sprawl on me, or they're going to be big and strong and work through. So this is where you're going to come into the equation. So you jump in there. So when you
seen
start
these
going
in the last
you
couple
just
weeks?
gonna drop
I don't know, maybe.
You're gonna
So,
stop
I don't know.
So you're gonna lasso.
I can't really remember the last week, so.
Right there, that guy. You'll be able to wiggle yourself out from under there, so just start wiggling. Yep, keep going the direction you were going. There you go, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. There you go. Because the end is always where the beginning was. At the very least, you should be able to get back to belly. Even if you just drops it. Now, here's where some things get funny. If you keep your lasso active to the last minute, you ever notice how the arm stays attached to your shin? That's actually a sweeping move. So you can create what we call a tong bow. So you're going to go in there again. So you're going to lasso. Now, if you take your other foot and cross your ankles, but put your right foot on the top of your shoulder. Yep, spread your knees. There you go. Now put your other knee underneath. Come on, put your foot where it was. So hold his shoulder at the tops of your feet. Cross your ankle all the way over. There it is. So, looks like a tong, right?
Yeah.
Now point your knees under your right knee underneath it. Keep your knees spread wide, wide, wide. Now I'll try to smash into it. Feel what's happening? Push. Not keep. Hold on to it and push it and complete off you. Yeah. You wouldn't want to hold on.
Wow.
Yes.
How are the hips?
Now the reason you cross your ankles there, that's reinforcement. Because now you have to use everything. That is a big man smashing. But if you do that to smaller people, you can kind of whip them around. So you go there and you cross like this, and your feet are holding the shoulder. That way they can't establish. Because Caleb's most likely going to grab you with his leg. But you're going to be able to open with your hips because your whole back and everything is very active. Does that make sense? Now you can just go for this as a sweep. So you can come here and instead of kicking your feet under, you kick your foot on top and just take him at almost a 90 and just send him on his way. Yep, throw yourself underneath. Now kick. Now look at the compression you have right there. Or if he falls off and he flops, grab the hand, kick your feet straight up in the air and fall back. No, fall back, grab the hand, kick up, and there you go.
That's pretty cool.
So, Tom is sweet. Now, here's the deal. You don't have to go Tom to sweet. You can just keep the motion in and sweep. But you have to create, so you went almost completely around. For 1 foot, it's about 45 degrees. And this is 100% feel thing. You gotta feel where the weight's at. Okay?
Okay.
So
There's
you-
just literally no research that those things actually.
They do make your lungs stronger.
You
So
wanna
you got
hide-
here, put your
how
head
it's
underneath
actually
you.
treated out.
Now kick and sweep it over.
Okay. So it's not better.
So you see why
Because I know just
the
for
tong
everybody
is nice,
freaking wearing those things.
because now you have both of your legs to work for. But you can still do it with one leg. You see why I'm
That
kind of
would
teaching you
simulate
that?
high altitude.
And then when you hear something, grab his hand, pull him back, throw your leg over his body.
Professor, will you have him do that thing where he based out on both his legs when he was getting squashed like that?
That would be a compression. Because if you come up and you have your feet in that position, the fun thing is if you lift your crotch a little bit, let his hand pass through, you have both of your shins over his arm. So now he's trapped here. And then you can establish your spine control. Because here's the next deal. You sweep a guy that big and you get on top, that's also rough. So one of the next things to keep in mind is, well, how am I going to snatch him? Well, if his hand is caught in the compression, that's one of those. But you can also get your feet under you and pop up to your belly, which means that you're going to be much more mobile against the drag. Or you can tie him up, keep the compression locked in, and start working cross body. Because if you're hearing your arms tied up in the compression, it's actually really tough to do too much. Because your arms stuck like this. It's the same thing as this. You just start Or if you do let his hand free, now you got your shin stuck trapped in his arm. But now, once he opens up here, there's a chance he might press you off. So this is where you think about all the things that you're going to do next. I would recommend for you especially keep a hold of the hand when you come out of the tong. Pop up to your feet to a knee on belly and just start riding and surfing from there. Because that'd be your best bet. So, work with it with the one leg. If you don't like it, I get it. That's why I switched to that tong sweep and started doing it like this. Because when I was doing it with big guys, it's just a lot of man to move.
Yeah.
It was much easier to move it with two legs than one leg.
Especially when you're already 90% under
Yep. And then for shits and giggles, we'll give it to Caleb and see what he can do. Little guy we can see. You alright today, Caleb?
Huh?
You're not smiling like you do. You alright?
I'm alright.
I love you.
Love you too.
Yeah, or touch your balls. Right, so we're good. Right there. Continue pushing it over. Right there. So you got them all tied up. Like I said, if you just lift your crotch up and stretch your legs back a little bit, his hand will pop out of there. And that's how you can keep him pinned now.
Oh. I remember doing this a couple months back.
Yeah, we've hit a few compressions. John's taught a couple compressions from here too. Put the hand back where it was.
like
Yeah, just bring it back up to your crotch. Put your feet back where they were. Alright. So now keep a hold of it with your left hand. Put your right hand on his body. Stand up. There you go. Shift your knee to the chest. There you are. Now you're in knee on belly. If you position your foot to the other side of his armpit, that's a mounted arm bar. Yep, spin arm bar and mountain.
Mounted arm bar.
That's just like the mounted arm bar.
oh yeah.
Or when you go up, you grab the knee and use it. Remember how to bend a man with knee and belly?
Somewhat loosely.
Land your back heel. Shin across the waist. Because we're doing ice mode. Pull up his near side sleeve or collar. Take your left hand, grab the outside of his knee. Other knee, there you go. Now, think of it like you're trying to break a board with your knee. Pull up in your chest, palms up, and push down with your knee. Lift up, there you go. Knee on belly. Now, you can also do it with the hand in your sleeve, so take the hand and grab his hand and pull his hand up. There you go. Level 1 is across the waist, your friends. Level 2 is across the diaphragm. Up that guy. There you go. Number 3 is your kneecap directly in the middle of his sternum.
That's my favorite.
And that is fuck your couch, down a little.
Yeah, down you want it.
Right there.
Right there.
That's mine. The middle of my chest is
Right
taller.
there. There you go. And that's for fuck you. Get your other foot up. Yeah. Get your foot away though. And at any point, you can slide your foot under his armpit and finish through the armbar.
Yeah. What a position.
Who's
So-
well, never mind. There's like 4 Why don't I did that to me?
Yeah, like I said, at a certain point, it is kind of knowledge acquisition. Like you're working on a lot of different ways to do a lot of different things. This kind of stuff, like this tong sweep, is really good if you're a small guy. I went through an obsessive stage myself with my jiu-jitsu back when I was a little bit smaller, where I would try to spin over people a lot, mostly because they said heavyweight spinning. So I kind of trained myself to learn all these guards.
How are you?
At the very
Yeah,
least,
nice
like,
to see you.
See you.
Did you know that, baby?
so I did.
Nice to meet
Look
Look at that face.
You can stand.
He's looking at you like, what is your problem?
You don't sleep with it. If you pop through just like an
How's Nick?
Does that make sense? Alright, Caleb. Let's see what you remember. Put him in your guard and show me what you can do. Impress Professor Mandy. Okay, so pseudo spider. Turn your palms up for spider. Good. That way he can't circle behind your legs and stuff.
Gotcha.
Okay. So when you switch to your lasso, up underneath, other way. Under, around, through the armpit. Toes up. Beautiful. Alright, so you're gonna try the omoplata. What are you gonna try for? Nice. Use to the leg. Kick your leg up now. Right, there it is. There's your bite. Switch your ends.
Switch to this one.
Yep. You're going to kick straight out and down. That's going to help him go forward. Now turn both your feet away from him, and there you go. Doesn't matter if you are big legs like omoplatas, always suck. Always keep in mind that if you're doing this on a hobbit, I mean the people with shorter wings, nice. Because big legs. This is where a guy like Eddie would have a hard time. Head off or stuff like that. Because there's some stuff with that and somebody that will fuck your shoulder up. That's important. Like body types. Jiu-jitsu just there are times where just the body type of jiu-jitsu is boring. And those two are just gonna stay alone. Alright, so that's all about it. Show me Tom Burger. Come see. Impress me. The other one's pretty quick actually.
Oh yeah, much quicker than us old guys.
Two, come. Good. You got this fat end, Bill. Lasso there. Good. So then rest your foot, cross your ankles, spread your knees wide, go underneath. Yep. Now kick him over your body. Whee! There, knock him over. Keep knocking him out.
That wasn't as pretty as he did it.
Well,
He inverted more like directly under me.
hip flexibility plays a part, because you gotta do that. What you're doing right now is what makes this fit for you. And JJ is the perfect victim for you because he's not super long arms.
And I weigh like 40 pounds, something like that.
Is it that way, Coach?
Yes, sir. Yep. Gotcha. So here, no here.
Spread your knees wide.
Butterfly status.
Gotcha. Yep. Pull them off, and then I want you to kick towards Miriam. You see her over there? That's the direction you're gonna kick your legs.
So I'm finding it hard. Maybe it's just because I'm fat. I'm finding it hard to like
Are
actually
your knees spread?
invert on this.
Your knees are spread?
No,
Now, you're on your turtle shell, right? Do you like being a turtle?
not really.
Okay. Reach across his waist and pull yourself under the other side of his waist. Like this. Now pull yourself under there. Now sweep. Well, you're holding him up. And you flopped him over that side.
Not as pretty.
When you get the angle, you're taking in the direction of the angle. That's gonna be
So when I'm inverting, instead of being, you have to be more on the top of my shoulders.
yes. But you're
Can I try?
Of course.
No. But that's what I was asking. Is when I'm like spinning, is that part of my problem? That I'm picking up like
So you gotta pressure open the hole up for yourself, and then that's gonna be repetition. So how much space do you?
And then I take this and put it here, just like that.
Spread your knees wide, brother. Like wide. Like that. There you go. Now go underneath. Now kick that towards Chris. Now get up, hop up to knee on belly. Or yes. Yeah. Dog legging now.
Knee on belly.
Knee on belly or slide them out. Dog leg.
So, good stewardship.
Yeah.
When I was down
Guess I
like
just
that,
come here and
I was
do it
fighting
before
myself
I
kind
run.
of like that.
That's
Like,
not
when I was
right.
here,
Yeah.
instead of trying to spin under again, is the goal of all of that to basically, once you get here, to go up into like slight reverse, like a reverse bandy almost, go back up onto your shoulder.
Don't bring your knees.
Don't. Yeah, reach to the other. Reach it.
Yep, spread your knees.
Now kick.
So right here, he's underneath, almost like he's laying in the
Ah, I feel it.
So now you spread your knees wide, and then push straight off your body. There it is.
Knee.
You're gonna make my sternum cave in more.
Good. Well, Jacko winning extreme ownership. Good.
Look, I broke your chest.
Howie.
Did you know he has that?
Yeah. This was fun.
He serves tea out of it to his girlfriend.
Yeah. His body shot's a hell of a.
I was a very mean kid, so I'm not saying this to be like mean, but when I was a younger guy, I had a friend that also had the, I can't remember what it's called. There we go, yeah. And for some reason, there was one day that me and my other buddy walked into his house, and we walked into his room, and he was eating a bowl of cereal. I don't know.
Sometimes I like almonds and stuff. Never any liquids.
Alright, so we've done all this. Any questions? That's a lot of moves.
We've got it on film, so we can practice.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's good.
And this is called the tong?
Yeah, when you're putting your tongue on the shoulder.
Okay. That gives you a lot of power.
Well, that's why, because a lot of years ago I learned how to do that sweep. Like you can lasso and keep the weight on one leg and go through. When you keep the weight on one leg, like I couldn't completely do it at all with my right hip because it just I can do it off my left hip, but he gave me a move where it's like by trying to move a large man. What happened is I get smashed when they come back to me, or I end up having maybe I can try it on the bottom. But then I learned that when I put my shins up there, I could rest them.
You figured that out yourself? Yeah.
I could just rest them. So even if you do this, go with Caleb, and just set the tongue guard position up, so just hang out there. So here, and then just spread your knees, but point your right knee to his crotch. And you just hang out here. Just turn your palm up. Yeah, just try to push into him, try to do stuff to him. See, he just gave you all his body weight. Send him away.
Just fly him.
Yeah. Because that's what happens is they'll get there. The guy who puts his knee on you doesn't understand what's going on. It's just, that's okay.
So then,
I kind of freaking felt like crap, dude. I like drove past and I didn't even like. I got a bus
Your knees, crotch. That's a good answer. Because if you stand up, now you're at the risk of being hit by the
Caleb, do you feel off? Are you off balance? I mean, you feel you're kind of playing along, but you still.
I mean, if we were going live, I probably might have different answers. I would just.
Okay, so let's get there for the other options. So here's my dumb answer. Because I would go here and lock in. If you keep that between your legs, and you're flexible enough for this, take both your hands, take your right hand, shoot through the far armpit right there. Over your shin. So like spread your knees again. Go over, see that little
Over
hole
your
right
shin. There you
see
go.
that? Now, as soon as you reach through, start pulling his shoulder towards you. Take your other hand and lock your hands behind his shoulder. Now press and pull. And that's the compression.
I like. Oh, is that on film? I gotta use that on mom.
Oh God.
Hey, I'm the boss of the house.
That's what
Oh yeah.
I have to exert my dominance somehow. Okay? This one's gonna be dumb. So you're here. While you're working in, he kind of leans in on you. That right there. Take your right hand and grab the other wrist. So grab it like this.
Like,
Yep. And just let go of that and just swim after the come on. When you pull forward, his arms straight.
come on.
And I just finished guys in the Kimura there. Because he'll pull his arm out eventually. So by the time you pull your arm out, I already have you. So, dump shot. The final part, collar
Yeah,
trips.
Captain Morgan, I got it.
Many of them.
So sit there. It's gonna be your right hand that's free. So you're in your tongue, you're hanging out. Take your right hand, just reach up in there as deep as you can. There you are. Pull him down, fuck with him, mess with him. Yep. And then right there, yep, you see it. Yep, grab the material, palm down, grab the material back. No. Right there, you see that fold?
Oh yeah.
Grab that, and just drop your elbow and go for your guard. That other side of his neck.
There you
Now
go.
get your guard back while you're doing that. There you go. Because your knees are in position.
Yeah.
You just slide it back into position.
It's just hard for me to get this leg back out.
Well, you don't get it out. That's what's keeping you trapped. Because if he yanks it out for you, then your leg's free to start going back to work.
So in order for me to use tongue guard, I don't necessarily have to invert all the way underneath.
No.
I can be in that side.
Because the guard itself it's a stall position. You can just go to the position and sit there.
Right.
Which is why I like it.
And most people don't see tongue guard, so it's odd.
It's a little misfit off of a Leandro Lowe video that I picked up.
So if I was to theoretically, with my belt color, get into that compression, that's illegal, right?
Depending on the tournament,